and not given an hour's Zoom as an afterthought?
I will be very, very brief because it is extraordinarily late. I think I have just a few very short observations. The first is that as a lesbian woman in this House, I have spent many, many years reading Hansard and watching proceedings in this House and hearing lesbians being referred to in far less positive terms than they are today. And it's quite a contrast to hear from others in this chamber such concern about lesbian women. And I would just want to put on the record that many, many lesbians are entirely supportive of the current status quo in relation to the provision of trans people in single-sex and other accommodations. And this suggestion that lesbians are opposed to this is unhelpful, I think. In the spirit of detoxifying the debate, I think it's very important that we do stick to the information and facts that are available. The second thing I would observe is that there is a review being undertaken. And unlike there are many, many reviews in the NHS, I've heard about this review more times on more platforms via more mediums than any other thing that seems to be going on in the NHS at the moment, despite the fact we're in the middle of a global pandemic. I have contributed to that review, I've written, and I'm sure Noble Baroness Nicholson has also done the same. We are more than capable of lobbying and influencing different institutions to put our view forward. And I'm interested and curious about the consequences of that review, and it will be interesting to see what comes next. My other observation is that Lord Terry Etherington, I think, is a very good authority on the Equality Act, and I trust him completely. I don't think his analysis is subjective or a hot take. I think he does know his stuff. And finally, I would say, as a daughter of a mother who trained to be a nurse and then a midwife and retired after 40 years as Professor of Nursing and Midwifery and trained hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nurses and midwives, I have absolute confidence in the professionalism of NHS staff to manage tricky issues when they occur. They do not just occur in relation to the 0.002% of the population who may or may not be trans. It comes up in all sorts of areas. And I trust the NHS to handle those situations when they do. So I would just beg that as these discussions continue, and I am 42 and I expect that the entire of my life period, which I imagine, I hope is another 40 years, will contain a lot of these discussions. I hope we can have them in a manner